Hi, it's Janelle from Parsnips and Parsimony, and it is May 10th, 2016, and here in upstate New York, spring has finally sprung. In fact, it was a little bit earlier this year, but I'm going to give you a tour of my flower and vegetable gardens. We'll start over here by the deck, and we have our blueberry bushes. Now, these blueberries did not do so well this winter, and part of that was because we had a hard frost after the blossoms had already started to come out, but we did manage to keep a couple blossoms. You can see right there, so hopefully we're going to have a few blueberries. These are Egyptian walking onions, and this walked here. I did not plant that, but it's doing very well, and I should just use it and get it out of here. You can see this blueberry bush is not doing all that well. It does not look all that healthy, but hopefully in a few more weeks they'll perk up a little bit. And this is a miniature blueberry bush, which is doing very well. The two beds right next to our house, we haven't done a whole lot with them. We got them rototilled, but here we have some lettuce that I started in the hoop house. This was over here originally, but now that it's warmed up, this is just plain lettuce. These are lettuces that we started in the house, and then I have some beets growing right here. The rest of the garden has just been rototilled and is ready to be planted, and up here I have more of these walking onions, which I need to actually deal with because there's grass in there and all that, but that's for another day. This bed usually has flowers in here. These are usually zinnias and cosmos, which it's too early to plant those yet. And then the same thing over here. Again, I haven't planted those, but these need to be dealt with in another week or two. In the hoop house, I have some plants in here. Nice and toasty in here. We have some tomato plants that I just transplanted, and then these are peppers with a few eggplants that kind of sprouted unannounced, and then I have another tray of tomatoes, and these are just getting nice and hot in here, ready to get transplanted in another week or two. At the front of our fence, we have a bed right here, and this will have canna lilies in it. I actually need to get those in. This needs to get turned, weeded, and fresh compost put into it, and then the canna lilies planted. But I also have some seeds from you viewers you guys sent me, and I'm going to put some of those in here as well. Then on this side of the garden, everything is coming up. We have a butterfly bush coming up here. That plant right here is a hollyhock, the one in the back with the round leaves, and then the spiky one is just a lily. And we have a peony plant there. The irises are just starting to blossom. Rose bushes look good so far, but I have a problem growing them. Every year some worms attack them, so I got to keep an eye on that. And then over here we have this is another butterfly bush coming up right here, these little leaves here, and we've got some lilies, irises. My mums, if you haven't seen that video on how I grow my mums, I'll put a link in the description below. And then right through here, I'm going to be planting some annual flowers soon. On my front porch, I have my orange tree that was inside, which is now outside, and then my lemon tree here, and then up here we have my geranium babies, which are just about ready to get transplanted here, and then in the back, right back there, those are my orange trees that I am trying to root. We have some more blueberry bushes over on this side. These actually were originally all blueberry bushes, but they don't get enough sun because of that tree. So we're in the process of transplanting them over. Although these get the most sun anywhere, so these guys don't seem to be doing too bad. But this one you can see also has some blossoms here, and that one I don't think is doing much. It's growing, but it doesn't have many blossoms, and this one looks really good. You can see it has a lot of blossoms, so hopefully we'll get some blueberries this year. Around the chicken coop, we have some daffodils and irises, as well as a hosta plant here. We've mulched all these, so pretty much it's just going to be maintaining the beds, making sure that the weeds don't get in there. And there's our chickens. Say hi, girls. And then we have Clematis. This is a clematis plant that climbs up, and it usually covers part of the coop, not a whole lot. And then in the corner right here, these here are echinacea, and these will get really, really big. Up against our back fencing garden is our rhubarb, and this rhubarb has been here for several years, but last year we transplanted this, and this was really small last year, but we put lots of compost in it and it looks like it's doing a whole lot better, and I need to get very busy and start harvesting that and make some rhubarb sauce. As you can see, not much of the garden has been planted yet. It needs a lot of mommy TLC, but Art was able to rototill it this weekend, and I'll show you what we have growing in here so far. Right here is some spinach that I planted last fall, and I've had great success with planting the spinach in the fall, and it comes up in the spring and it grows absolutely beautifully. So this was actually last fall's spinach, and we've been picking that and enjoying that. I don't have anything here yet, but over here we have some early plantings, and I don't know if you guys can see this right here. This is going to be some Swiss chard, and this is supposed to be lettuce, but it doesn't look like much of anything is coming up. In this row next door, I think I planted, I was really bad, I didn't mark the rows. I think these are supposed to be carrots, and then I have some beets here, which are coming up really, really well. You can see them all the way down the row. And then back here, I put in some kale, and that's just starting to do pretty well over here. Over here in this corner is some horseradish. And then in the middle of the garden on one of the edges, this is lemongrass. I don't actually use it all that much. I'm not sure, or is it lemon garlic or garlic grass? Now I can't remember. My neighbor gave it to me, and I don't use it because I don't remember how to use it. This is some comfrey, and then over here, this is my garlic. You can see my row of garlic, and again, I need to weed and tend my garden. I just haven't had a chance to do that yet. And then over here, I was really late with pulling, it might be hard to see, but I was really late in pulling the garlic out of the ground. You can see all of this, and I missed a lot of the garlic in pulling it out. And these are volunteers. These are not supposed to be here, but lo and behold, they are here. So I'm going to probably just leave them here, and we'll harvest them when they're done growing. And then in the far corner over there, we have some more horseradish. And in the last corner of the garden, we obviously have my clothesline, which needs to get put away. That was just put here for the winter time. But in the corner right here is some more comfrey. And comfrey is a great crop to actually grow, to just cut down mid-season and then throw it in the compost bin. There's a lot of good properties to it, and it's also really good for bee stings. So I grow it because, not because I actually use it that much, but it's great for the compost pile. I'll give you a general overview, and then we'll get up close and look at these. So this is a sweet cherry here. This tree here is a peach tree, and then right there is another peach tree, a pear tree. We have another cherry tree, a grape arbor, and then one last peach tree right there. This cherry tree is doing amazing this year. It has lots of blossoms. This is the first year we've had so many blossoms on our cherry tree. Now we have a peach tree over here. Unfortunately, we had a really hard frost after the flower buds had already come out, so we lost pretty much all of our fruit this year on the peach trees, which is really, really disappointing, but that's how it goes sometimes. Over here is our compost piles. This is the one that we're ready to use from, and then these are just the different stages. This is our first stage, so that's where we first dump everything, and then in a few weeks we rotate it and put it in the second bin. When we're ready to move that, we move it over to here, and then hopefully it's completely done and ready to use by the fourth bin. And this has been working pretty well for us for the past couple years. I'm not sure if the grape arbor was actually affected that much by the cold frost we had. I mean, I do see some growth on this. I see the leaves here, and I know grapevines are notorious for coming out late, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of growth, which is a little bit of concern to me. But we'll just kind of wait and see. And this is a volunteer blackberry bush right here. We have our other peach tree here, which again lost most of its fruit. I haven't seen any flowers on it, so I think we're just not going to have any peaches this year. And then down at the base here is one last rhubarb plant, which was supposed to get transplanted, and we thought we got all the roots, but obviously we missed one, so there it is growing. Inside we have a few plants that aren't quite ready to go to the hoop house. We have a few pepper plants here. These are cauliflowers. Then I have some eggplants. This is going to be parsley, basil, marigolds, a few tomatoes, and then this is pak choi. The next 2 weeks are going to be very crazy for us, trying to get all of the gardens in and planted, and I'll probably do some planting today and throughout this week because it's supposed to be really nice weather, but I will try to do another video at the end of May so you guys can see what I've put in and how the plants look at that size. It's always crazy in May because there's so much to do, but this is the start of a great season and hopefully we'll have a lot of great produce. I have a lot of good plans and hopefully trying some new things. I've been reading some new gardening books. I'll put some of the links for those in the description below because I found some great books this past winter at our library with lots of great information. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick garden tour. If you guys have any questions or thoughts or comments or anything, leave them in the comment area below. I love hearing from you guys. Also, I'd love to see some pictures of your gardens. And if this is the first time you are new to our channel, please subscribe where I do lots and lots of gardening and canning and preserving and all that kind of stuff in the summertime. Thanks so much for watching and we'll see you for our next video. Bye!